G'day everyone and welcome back to Albatross Barbecue. Thank you for tuning back in. So what are we smoking today? Today we're going to be smoking beef shin, otherwise known as Thor hammer. This is going to be excellent. I cannot wait. So the plan is pretty simple. We're going to smoke it for around 5 to 6 hours at about 225 to 250 degrees in the akorn. Then we're going to wrap it up, put it in a red wine auju. It's going to be an absolute flavour bomb. We're going to lay it on top of a bed of mashed potato, serve it with some vegetables, and enjoy a delicious dinner. So I want to start this video with a little bit of information about the setup. We're going to be using some Kingsford hickory coals as well as just some normal briskets here. What I'm doing, I'm setting up the akorn into the snake technique. For low and slow cooking in the akorn, I personally believe this is the best technique to use. I think it's better than the pyramid approach. The idea is to start the fire at one end and it will slowly burn its way round across the snake to the other end. For additional flavour and smokiness today, I'm using some cherry wood as well as a few hickory chunks. Once you're happy with your setup, grab your chimney, throw some more briskets in there and light it up. You can light it up straight in the kamado, it's entirely up to you here. Leave your coals to warm up, and now that gives you the opportunity to turn to your Thor's hammer or beef shin and start prepping it. This is my rub today. We're keeping it super simple. We've got some salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and some thyme. So grab yourself a binder. I'm using some mustard here today just to help the rub stick to the meat. Be generous with the amount of rub that you want to put on here. It's a big old piece of meat, so it can take a fair bit of rub. And as you can see there, the size of the bone is massive, and that is going to give a huge amount of additional flavour to your cook today. Now that your coals are hot, it's time to form the head of the snake. Your coals don't have to be burning red hot here. In fact, I think it's better for them not to be, because it is a low and slow cook. You don't want them to be hot. You want to bring this up to temperature gradually. I like to open my top damper to 4 and also my bottom damper to 4. That's going to get some heat and oxygen into this fire. Now I'm only really putting the grill on here so I can attach the thermometer. The thermometer on the actual kamado isn't quite as accurate as what this Stern Pro is. This will give me an exact reading of what the temperature is at the grill level. Now I cannot stress how important this part is. You're just about to hit 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You need to turn your top damper to just below 1, and the bottom damper needs to go just below 1 as well. You want to catch this before it's too late, because if it gets too hot, you're not going to get your kamado back down to temperature. If you want to be cooking at around that 225 to 250 area, you have to do this step at 200 degrees. Do not let it get out of control. Your heat deflector and your water here is going to help regulate that temperature. The water is not going to get moisture into your meat, but it is going to help you maintain that temperature that you're looking for. Let's throw the hammer now onto the kamado. I'm going to be putting in 2 thermometers on either side of the shin so I can monitor how hot that meat is. Around 2.5 hours into the cook, I am maintaining that temperature beautifully. I have not had to touch the top damper or the bottom damper at all. It's almost like set and forget if you follow these instructions. Around an hour later, I had my first look. That was mainly just so I could top up the water so I can maintain that temperature and keep regulating it. Don't worry about that alarm, that's just because I've opened the kamado. Once you hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit internal, it's time to turn your attention to your red wine auju. So we have 1 clove of garlic, 1 teaspoon of butter, 1 cup of red wine, 300 mils of beef stock. Gonna add a little bit of extra salt, pepper, and some thyme. And then just a little bit of red wine vinegar with some red onions, and just get a little mix. When we're pulling the shin, we want to be as quick as we can. I don't want oxygen to get back into that fire. I will, however, make sure that I top up that water again, so I said, so I can help maintain that temperature, which is going to be hitting around the 250 degrees Fahrenheit for the rest of this cook. Now that I've closed the lid back up, I can have a closer look at this beautiful looking beef shin. Wrap her up however you wish to. I like to put it in a tray, as I said, because I've got all those juices and onions and flavour there. Put your thermometer back in, and we are going to be looking for an internal temperature of 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That sound means we've hit 210 degrees internal. It's now time to pull this beef shin, put it in the esky, and let it rest for an hour. Letting it rest is super important. It's so hot, you won't be able to pull it. You'll burn your fingers. Whilst it's cooling, check out your snake. You should have some coals left to use for another day. 1 hour later, it's showtime. All right, here we go. So we have beef shin, otherwise known as Thor's hammer. It's been smoked for around 6 hours and then wrapped. As you saw just then, it is super, super tender. Pull apart. I cannot wait to taste this in the red wine brine. Here we go. Oh my God. I am so happy right now. That is amazing. That's better than brisket. That's the best beef I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much for watching. If you've never had a Thor's hammer before, buy one. Try that recipe. Absolutely outstanding. Thank you so much for watching. That is delicious. I was so happy with this cook. Unbelievable beef. Unbelievable flavour. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As you can see, I had beautiful colour. It was perfectly tender and it tasted amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more awesome barbecue recipes.